I did go through a phase where I did smoke marijuana for a while, but I didn't like it, so I stopped. Um, I had a pretty good life for a while. Then I found out that the guy that I was with, which is my daughter's dad, he was cheating on me. He was not a faithful man whatsoever. I put up with it for a while because I thought I wasn't good enough. He belittled me with my weight. I never felt comfortable with my weight. I still struggle with my weight to this day. And when I caught the last time that I caught him cheating on me, I said I was done, and he left. I kicked him out. I told him, I'm done. You got to go. It's over with. So from 2006 to 2011, shortly after I left the parent partner program,
yes,
I relapsed. And I went in a total different direction. I didn't sell drugs no more, but I went and stole from stores. And that became a really big addiction for me, bigger than any addiction that I've ever experienced. And that's the hardest addiction to ever overcome, even of drugs. Because when you know you can walk into the Michael Kors outlet and walk out with 10 purses in one shot and be gone, that was hard for me to be able to let that go.
Sure.
I mean, I was doing lots of stuff, and I was stealing to support my drug habit. I was stealing for lots of things. And where some of my time come to a halt for a while was I was at Hy-Vee in Ankeny, and I walked out with a cart full of $900 worth of product from Hy-Vee, between steaks and all that. And I pepper sprayed the Hy-Vee worker because he wouldn't move, and the person that I was with in the car was going to run him over. And I'm like, please move. Here's your car. I'm getting in the car with her. Can you please go? And he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And I sprayed him. I did not hit him physically. I just sprayed it in the air to get him to back away. So I got in the car. We got all the way to 6th Avenue by the Quick Trip, and Iowa State Patrol got us. Needless to say, I went back to prison again. I pleaded down from a 2nd-degree robbery to an assault causing bodily harm. I went to prison. I came back out. I did good for a little bit. I relapsed again. Ran amok. Started stealing again. I did that off and on, in and out of prison, till 2017. I did another theft again, and I went to jail. I didn't go to jail. They let me out. The cop was like, oh, you're only taking this. I'm going to let you stay out. Call your PO and tell your PO. So I ended up going on the run and using drugs really hard. I was to the point where I was either going to stick a needle in my arm or I was going to hang myself. I planned out my whole suicide. And then I knew that if I did that it was going to be my children who found me. And I never want to put my children through that or let them find me like that. So I told my mom, it's time for me to change. I got to go. I ended up turning myself into Polk County Jail. I wrote my PO and I said, I'm asking you to give me one last chance in life. Please, can I go to a treatment center that's far away? I got a drug evaluation while I was in jail. My lawyer had it done. I got my PO, by the grace of God, gave me that chance. I went to a treatment center 3 hours away. I told my mom that I wanted to work on myself. I didn't want visits, but my little girl was missing me really bad. They came one time in 4 months of my treatment. I really dug deep. Back in 2016.
How did that make you feel, being in that center and making the decision, I'm going to work on me and I'm not going to, necessarily focus on my kids. I love my kids, but I got to focus on me, because one of the things that I know is hard for us mothers, and maybe fathers too, that are struggling with addiction, is saying, you know what, I'm going to be a little selfish now, even though we've been somewhat selfish because we were out there using drugs and not thinking about our family.
Right.
But we also have to bring ourselves back to a place that we're even kind of selfish in the sense of, I need to focus on me and not my kids. What was that? How did that make you feel? Because I think a lot of people that are struggling with addiction have to do that. They have to make that decision. I'm not going to focus necessarily on my kids, even though I love my kids, even though they're the most important thing. I need to focus on me. What was that like for you? What were the steps you took?
I knew that, first of all, that if I didn't focus on me and what my issues were, I was never going to be able to be the correct mom to them, because I was being their friend and not their mom. And that was causing a lot of stuff. My now, who's 20 years old, had a lot of hard feelings towards me because I kept going in and out of prison. She was not going to talk to me no more. She was going to be done with me. And I knew that if I didn't change and work on what my issues were, that if I kept just pushing them down inside and burying them and not talk about them and deal with them and get them out, that I was going to stay sick for the rest of my life. Okay. I was determined to get rid of all of that. I had hate. I had resentments. I felt horrible about myself. I didn't feel like I was worthy of love. And I know that I'm an amazing person. And I know that I got a lot to offer in life to people. Not only in a personal relationship, but to my children. I want to help the community. I know that I'm an amazing person, but I had to make sure that I really believed that.
Sure.
Because I didn't.
Okay.
But I knew it, but I wasn't believing it.
Sure. And I think that's something that all of us have to come to the end of ourselves.
Yep.
To understand who we really are.
Yeah.
And believe that that is who I am.
Right.
Right. Because most of the time, what we take on is the labels. What other people say.
Right.
How other people treat us. And not realize that because of these things, it's created a false image, even to ourselves.
Right.
So.
Very correct.
Yes.
So when I was done with treatment, let me just say I didn't get a real graduation because I broke one rule while I was in treatment. I had my cell phone. And I wasn't supposed to have my cell phone. Okay. That's the only thing that I did was have my cell phone. But I got it successful, but I didn't get a graduation. I just got a coin and that was it. But I was okay with that because I was okay with where I was at that time in my life with myself. And when I walked out of that treatment center and said goodbye to those people, I knew that my new life and my new journey was starting. And I knew down deep inside that God had a plan for me. And I didn't know what that plan was going to be yet, but I knew that it was for me. So I left treatment, I think it was June of 17.
Let me ask a question before you go further. What made you think you needed your cell phone at that time? Why was that the rule that you broke?
So the phone, they didn't let us, so you had to pay for your phone calls.
Okay.
And I had a cousin that would only send me like $50 to get my hygiene because you had to buy your own hygiene there.
Okay.
And I couldn't call home. The phone cards were too expensive at the time because my mom was struggling.
Right.
So I would sneak and call my kids.
Just to check on the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's honest God's truth way.
Right.
That's good.
And I knew I had a feeling that was the reason
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a mom too, and
Yep.
I know that no matter what place or where we're at in life, we want to still have some connection with our family.
Yep.
It's not about
It's not about
the people of your past.
Right.
It wasn't about a man.
no.
And I wanted to get that clear. I
Yep.
wanted to clarify that.
Yep.
That's why I asked you that because I had a feeling it was about the kids.
Yep.
You wanted to stay connected to your kids.
Wow.
Yep.
So yeah.
So, and another thing I did why I had my phone, I won't sugarcoat this part. I did get on my Facebook and I deleted a lot of bad, negative people from my Facebook. I've had to, since I've been home from treatment, February of 2021, I will have 4 years clean.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've not. I've been
Congratulations.
off paper for almost 2 years now. I still have contact with my probation officer. I email her every couple months just to say, hey, thank you. I want you to know that I'm so grateful for the chance that you gave me. And after the COVID stuff, she wants me to stop in the office and say hi and bring my daughters.
Who was your PO?
Can I say?
I think you can.
Okay, Jacinda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those people that's seen more in you.
So she has been my PO from 2006 when I came home from federal prison. She ran the federal women at the time,
Yeah.
all the way until until I got off paper this time.
Yeah.
So she's been with me for a long time and she knows me very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was super honest with her. Like when I would go to the stores and still, I changed my appearances, okay? I would wear wigs, I'd wear glasses. I'd done some really crazy stuff. I made myself look like a cancer patient, really bad stuff to alter my appearances to go into the stores because if I ran, then they wouldn't know who I was. I was honest with her, told her all that kind of stuff. Like,
Wow.
I was very open and honest with my PO. And that might be why she was so determined to help me. I don't know. Because I never lied to her. I was very honest with her. And the times that I did go on the run, it was for a short period of time, and I always went and turned myself in.
And I think too, from my relationship with you, I've always saw you as an honest person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it hurt, even if you didn't, honesty was your.
Yeah, that's how I am. Because I feel like if I'm honest, I'm going to get a lot further. And if I lie, I'm lying because I stutter and I can't keep my story straight. That's the honest to God's truth. It's just horrible, but
Wow. So now that you're off of paper, you said
Mhm.
2 years, you've been clean almost 4 years.
Mhm.
You, what are you doing now? Can you tell me a little bit about, because to me that's victory.
Mhm.
You've overcome some really difficult things in life. You're clean. You're married now.
I'm married now.
Yes.
I met so when I met my husband now, he wasn't in the best spot. He was on the run and on drugs, but I didn't know that at the very beginning. Then once I found that out about him, I seen another part of him. I didn't see the drug addict and the criminal. I seen past all that. He ended up going to prison, he was gone 16 months. I waited for him faithfully, went and visited him and helped take care of him. He came home. We've had a few struggles, as any marriage would when they first come home. But we are working on things. And
Well, you mentioned that. You said
yeah,
we are committed to.
we're very, very committed. We're doing therapy, separate and getting ready to start marriage therapy, because neither one of us we both had such a bad past and came from such bad backgrounds that we didn't know how to be truly in love at first. And he loves me for who I am, and
I take it you love him for
absolutely I do, for all of his flaws. Absolutely I do, and it's amazing, and I love the road that we're going down now.
And I think it's fair to say that you've made the Lord the center of your marriage too, because
Yes.
we talked about that.
Yes.
Because that's a big piece that I think a lot of people need to know about marriage. Is marriage isn't easy.
No.
It takes work.
It takes lots of work.
And we,
And if you're not willing to put that work in it, it's going to fail. But marriage isn't just temporary. Marriage, and I know that I've been married in the past, but really bad things happened in those marriages to where it was uncontrollable to fix.
Sure.
So I will not give up, and I will not walk away from this marriage.
Well, I heard you say earlier when you were saying, we do devotions.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have really worked on at least, or you are working on your spiritual walk with the Lord as
Yes.
well.
We both believe.
Amen.
Are believers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And without our higher power.
Yeah. Well, and I know that, there's one of the scriptures that bring me to mind about marriage is a 3-strand cord is not easily broken. And that's you, your husband, and the Lord being the center. And so just know that
Very much.
with him being the center of your marriage, it's not easily broken because he's the knot that holds it together.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Very correct.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
So you're married, you're working on things, your children, I take it your relationship is pretty good there. You're
Yep.
working on those things, and
I have a better relationship with my kids today than I ever have.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, you're also doing some things now. What are those things that you're doing? You're giving back into the community?
Yes. So I'm also a parent partner.
Okay.
I work with moms who are involved with DHS, and I love helping get people back on the right track and get their life together.
Sure.
I'm also involved in it's a club type thing, where we are doing things for the community. We give away boxes of vegetables and fruits. I help a guy do it that gets truckloads of them, and me and my husband will go pick up 15, 20 boxes and go hand them out to people. We're getting ready to do a big thing for Christmas to help give kids Christmas. I've also learned, though, in the process of this, that I can't always save everybody.
Yes.
That's something some people have to understand, that you can't always save everybody. And you can try, but you also have to set boundaries. That's really important for me to say, because I never used to be able to set boundaries, and today I can set boundaries.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a truth that, we're not here to, I always say we're here to plant the seed, but God has to do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to remember that only He can water that seed. He's the only one that can make the increase in that person's life. And it's important that we just do our part and then leave the rest up to Him, because He's the only one that can do it. So
Absolutely.
that's amazing. Tessa, I am really, really happy to just be able to sit here with you and hear your story and know that a lot of times we don't tell people enough about the things that we've been through. Mm-hmm. And the key word is been through. Mm-hmm. Even though we had to go, we were in that time of our life, we were going through some things, we made it through, and now we're on the other side doing the things that we were created to do. And people shouldn't give up.
No.
They shouldn't give
Never
up.
give up.
Never give up. Yeah. Because giving up is when we do lose.
Yep.
But if we fall down, we need to get back up and keep on moving.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. And you continue to keep moving. So I
always will.
I am totally like amazement. Do you have anything for Miss Jody?
No, I just wanted to add, you were saying that, about your marriage, and I think it's important to let the viewers know, you guys aren't used to a healthy relationship,
No.
whether it be a marriage, a friendship, because I used to isolate. When I first got clean, I hung out with my grandkids because I didn't like women. I didn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have any healthy anything. And I think it's important that the viewers know that, what you said about, not giving up, but what Pastor also said about the healthiness of it is putting God in the center of that.
You have to.
Because that's the only way it's going to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the only way. So, yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing.
It's not, because you have to learn to love those flaws
Right.
in each other, So, yeah.
That's where we apply the grace and the mercy for one another.
Yes.
Those are key components to marriage.
Yeah.
So, wow. Well, thank you, Tessa, for
Yes.
joining and
Thank you
sharing
for
your
having me.
story. We would like to have you come back to the living room.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
maybe with your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to have you. So, well, thank you again for tuning into the living room with JoAnna Davis and my wonderful co-host Jody Jewett and wonderful Tessa Jones sharing her life story and journey with you. We hope that you would subscribe to our YouTube page and please like and share on our Facebook. And again, I want you to all remember that we love people where they're at until God can get them to where He needs them to be. Have a good night. Thank you.
Hi.